Motivation feels good, but discipline changes lives. Motivation shows up when you feel ready. Discipline shows up when you don't. And the truth no one tells you is this: every successful life you admire was built on discipline, not motivation, because motivation is an emotion, and emotions come and go. But discipline is a decision you make every single day. Today, we're going to talk about why discipline wins when motivation fails, and how this one mindset can completely change your life. We were taught a lie about motivation, a dangerous one. From a young age, we were told that success begins when you feel inspired. That progress starts when the mood is right. That action should follow emotion. And so we wait. We wait for the perfect morning, the perfect feeling, the perfect burst of energy that makes everything feel easy. But that moment rarely comes, and when it does, it never stays. Motivation has been marketed like magic. Watch a video, hear a quote, feel a rush, and suddenly you believe you're ready to change your life. For a few hours, maybe a few days, you feel unstoppable. You set goals. You promise yourself, this time is different. But then life happens. You wake up tired. Doubt creeps in. The excitement fades. And because you were taught to rely on motivation, you stop. That's motivation is temporary. That's the truth most people don't want to accept. Motivation comes like a wave, strong, exciting, emotional, but waves always crash and disappear. One day you feel driven, focused, unstoppable. The next day, that feeling is gone. You didn't suddenly become lazy. You didn't lose your dream. You just lost a feeling. And when your entire system depends on a feeling, everything falls apart the moment that feeling fades. Motivation depends on mood, on energy, on circumstances. It depends on how well you slept, how your day went, who supported you, who doubted you, what happened yesterday. That means motivation is fragile. It's unreliable. It cannot be the foundation of a strong life, because life doesn't care how motivated you feel. Problems don't wait. Responsibilities don't pause. Time doesn't slow down. Just discipline is doing the work even when every part of you wants to stop. It is action without emotion. It is showing up on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. When your body feels heavy, when your mind is full of excuses, and when quitting feels justified. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks one simple question: did you do what needed to be done? Most people believe they need to feel ready before they act. Discipline flips that thinking. Discipline says you act first, and the feelings follow later. You don't wait to feel confident before you work, and confidence is built in the process. You don't wait to feel strong, you train, and strength comes after. Every time you move forward without wanting to, you prove to yourself that your emotions don't control you, and that realization is powerful. Every successful person you admire made discipline their foundation, long before anyone noticed them. What you see on the surface, the success, the confidence, the results, is only the final chapter. What you don't see are the quiet mornings, the lonely nights, the repeated actions done with no applause. Success is not built in moments of excitement. It is built in ordinary days, repeated again and again. When no one is watching, We often assume successful people are somehow different, that they wake up motivated every day, that they never doubt themselves, that they always feel inspired. That belief is comforting because it gives us an excuse. But the truth is much harder and much more empowering. They showed up even when they didn't want to. They worked when it was boring. They stayed consistent when progress felt invisible. Discipline carried them through the seasons. Motivation is often the spark that gets you started. It's that emotional high when a dream feels exciting and possible. When you picture a better version of yourself and say, "This is the moment I change." Motivation opens the door. It gets you to take the first step. But motivation was never meant to carry you all the way to the finish line. The moment you begin, reality steps in. The work becomes repetitive. Progress slows down. Doubt starts to whisper. The excitement that once fueled you begins to fade. And this is where most people stop. Not because they can't do it, but because they expected motivation to stay. They believed the journey would always feel inspiring. When it didn't, they assumed something was wrong. Discipline is what takes over when motivation runs out. Discipline doesn't need excitement. It doesn't need passion. It needs commitment. It's the voice that says, "We're doing this anyway." It's waking up and continuing when the dream feels distant. It's sticking to the process when results are slow. It's choosing consistency over comfort. Every meaningful goal requires endurance. Motivation gives you the courage to begin, but discipline gives you the strength to continue. Without discipline, motivation becomes wasted potential, a series of strong starts with no finish. With discipline, even weak motivation becomes enough, because the habit of showing up replaces the need to feel inspired. Discipline builds confidence in a way motivation never can. Not the loud, temporary confidence that comes from hype or praise, but the quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, especially when it's hard, you send a powerful message to your mind. I can trust myself, and that trust changes everything. Most people struggle with confidence because they keep breaking promises to themselves. They say they'll start tomorrow. They say they'll stay consistent. They say they won't quit again. But when tomorrow comes and nothing changes, self-belief slowly erodes. Over time, you stop believing your own words. Discipline reverses that damage. It rebuilds self-respect one action at a time. Each disciplined action is a vote for the person you want to become. When you wake up early even when you're tired, when you finish the work even when you're bored, when you keep going even when no one is watching, you prove your strength to yourself. You don't need validation from others, because you've earned something better: self-respect. Confidence doesn't come from waiting until you feel ready. Many people believe discipline is a prison. They think routines, structure, and rules will limit their freedom, take the joy out of life, and make everything feel heavy. But the truth is the opposite. A lack of discipline is what traps people. It's what keeps them stuck in cycles they can't escape: financial stress, poor health, broken focus, wasted time. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is liberation. When you have no discipline, your life is controlled by impulses. You eat whatever you crave. You sleep whenever you feel like it. You react to every distraction, every emotion, every excuse. And slowly, without noticing, your choices stop being choices at all. They become habits that run your life for you. That's not freedom. That's loss of control. Discipline gives you your power back. It creates boundaries that protect your time, your energy, and your goals. It allows you to decide what matters and say no to everything else. When you discipline your body, you gain energy instead of losing it. When you discipline your mind, you gain focus instead of stress. When you discipline your finances, you gain peace instead of anxiety. Structure doesn't limit creativity, it creates space for it. Routine doesn't make life dull, it removes chaos. Discipline clears the noise so you can actually enjoy your life. It gives you control over your future instead of leaving it to chance. The freedom people are chasing through comfort. And ease is the very freedom discipline provides through effort. And consistent savory choice comes with pain. That's the part no one escapes. The only question is which pain you are willing to live with. The pain of discipline is sharp but short-lived. It's the early mornings, the saying no, the effort when you're tired, the discomfort of doing what most people avoid. It stings in the moment, but it passes. And every time you endure it, you grow stronger. The pain of regret is different. It's quiet, heavy, and permanent. It shows up late at night when the noise is gone and you're alone with your thoughts. It sounds like I should have started earlier. I knew better. Why didn't I try? Regret doesn't scream, it whispers, and those whispers can last a lifetime. Discipline hurts now, but regret hurts forever. Most people don't fail because they couldn't handle discipline. They fail because they chose comfort instead. Comfort feels good today. Skipping the work feels harmless. Putting things off feels safe. But comfort is expensive. It costs